Hey guys, Mr. Shaw here. We are going to be taking a look today at how to evaluate ratios in word problems and to determine are they equivalent or are they not. This is skill DJ8 if you're looking them up by a quick code, and you'll see the link in the YouTube description as well. There's a couple of steps to do this, and it's a pretty simple skill, but as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. So in a problem like this, you're going to see two ratios. Here I see, are these ratios equivalent? 20 pedestrians to 12 years, 10 pedestrians to 6 years. A lot of times, I find that students will see words like pedestrian, not be familiar with it, and then freak out a little bit and then skip it or guess. The word really doesn't matter. Focus on the numbers. For every single one of these problems, to figure out whether or not they're equivalent, you'll basically have to find the cross product of these ratios. And you can find that by turning the ratios into a fraction. So the first one is 20 to 12. When I turn that into a fraction, all I have to do is take that first number, put it on top, the second number, put it on the bottom, so that it's now a ratio written as a fraction, 20 to 12. Same thing happens with my second one. I've got 10 pedestrians to 6 years. So I'll go ahead and write 10 pedestrians to 6 years. There it is. I want to see if these two are equal to each other. And the quickest and easiest way to do that is to take the cross product of these two. So to take the cross product, I just need to multiply across on these two sides and see do they end up being the same or are they different. So if I take 20 times 6, multiply them together, I get 120 on this side. And if I take 12 times 10, I get 120 on this side. They are equal, so I think that these two are equivalent ratios. Let me see if that's right. I'll click yes, I'll hit submit. Yay! IXL thinks I'm so good. Alright, let's look again. Are these ratios equivalent? 4 indigo paper clips for every 14 white paper clips. If you're ever in the Michaels or Hobby Lobby and buying indigo versus white paper clips, it's super important to know whether they are indigo or white and what the ratio is. So, the next one is 2 indigo paper clips for every 7 white paper clips. Indigo is a beautiful color. It's kind of like a dark blue. I'm a huge fan. So I start by writing this as a fraction, 4 to 14. Put my little equal sign, and then 2 to 7. All right, my next step, cross multiply to get the cross product, and 7 times 4 is 28, 14 times 2 is 28, bada bing, bada boom, they look equal to me, and IXL thinks so as well. Sometimes they won't be equal. We'll hopefully find an example of that soon, but let's look at another example. 12 medium necklaces to 14 small, 6 medium necklaces to 7 small. When I look at this, I'm going to guess that these two are equivalent because 12 is 2 times 6 and 14 is 2 times 7, but there's no way to know without checking. So let's go ahead and set it up. Step 1, I'm going to go ahead and set these up as fractions. So 12 to 14 is equivalent to 6 to 7. You'll notice you can actually set this up either way. You could put the 12 over the 6 or the 14 over the 7, as long as you match up. When I multiply these together, 14 times 6, 14, 28, 42, 84, okay. 12 times 7, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84. Both of them equal 84. And that makes me think that they are equal. And sure enough, they are. Aha, we finally found one where I think they won't be equal. 8 waffle cones for every 9 sugar cones. 9 waffle cones for every 15 sugar cones. Just so we're totally clear, waffle cones are way better than sugar cones. Sugar cones they're okay. But if you can get the waffle cone, always go for it. So, 8 waffle cones to 9 sugar cones. There we go. That's a terrible line. And then 9 waffle cones to 15 sugar cones. Something you've got to make sure to do is to match up your ratios the right way. If my waffle cone is on top in the first one, it's on top in the second one. If my sugar cone's on the bottom in the first one, it's on the bottom in the second one. If you flip them and confuse them, your answer cannot be right. I'll cross multiply. 9 times 9 I know is going to give me 81 because I know my times tables. 15 times 8, well 15 times 2 is 30. 4 of those, the 120. Those are not equal. This is bigger than this. So that tells me these ratios are not equivalent. We'll see if I'm right. Good work! Be sure that you follow the same steps each time. First, set up your ratios as fractions. Then cross multiply them and see if the cross products are the same. If they're the same, they're equivalent. If they're not, they are not equivalent. And let me know if you have any questions.